Me and Arch here at Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast support the movement to free Britney. And if you like free shit, go to NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
You are a non-technological cunt.
Let me tell you something.
Did you hear that? Because for the first time in 58 episodes, you can hear my voice. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
No. This happened a couple episodes ago, and I asked you what it was, and you're the fucking computer dick, and you should know this shit.
Yeah, you want to know what?
What are we paying you for is my question.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
You're a prick.
Oh, thank you.
All right. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Good. I'm glad you feel great, man. I mean, you look
How are
good.
you feeling?
I feel good. I'm well rested.
Really?
I'm healthy. No worries, no stress. I feel fucking great. How about you?
It looks like your bags have bags again.
Yeah, man. Well, that might be because of the weed, man.
Whoa. But we're not playing dummy on a gummy tonight.
No, not dummy on a gummy tonight.
What's your weed of choice? Is it pen? Is it the old fashioned roll the old fucking joint?
Old fashioned joint. I did the pen for like a hot minute, and I honestly felt that like it's too accessible, and I could jump to it right away.
Gotcha.
And I was getting like a cough, like you could feel like, hey man, that's
you got popcorn lung.
Yeah, fucking.
So explain to me what's the difference between the high in the pen and the actual tangible marijuana you can touch and roll?
I feel more of an impact from the old school way, like more
really?
A straight hit, yeah, than feeling like, I don't know, because the pen, like you could kind of like hit it quick, hit it long. You could definitely catch a body real quick if you take a huge fucking. You ever hear some of those pens that are like. And then someone's just like. And then all of a sudden you got like that fucking bronchial cough.
All right, so let me ask you this though. I feel like now with the pens and all that shit, they have it down to a science. Like, hey, if you want a body high, you smoke fucking angel's balls. If you want a fucking head high, smoke fucking Einstein's cock. Fucking like, they're all different stuff like that. Where it's very specific to fucking what you're trying to feel.
To be honest with you, I feel that I'm still a little iffy about the pen because it's like an oil, right? You're like smoking. It's like an
Throw some fucking Earl in there.
You're smoking like fucking some purple haze and like some 10W30, like
or WD-40.
So
NW30 is actually motor oil.
Yeah, I know.
Mechanic.
So
I want you need to walk into one of these vape shops now. So all the vape shops, so they're like grandfathered in to sell like fucking. So now they sell. It says legal THC, right?
They played the long game, huh? And they won.
Yeah, they're like, fuck this. I'm gonna open a vape shop in fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
3 customers, but I'm gonna be able to sell weed one day.
His products were bongs and fucking beepers.
So now they sell like legal THC, and that's like the shit that like, you know, my friends would get like the weed pens, like cartridges from like California when it was legal there, and then now it's legal in New Jersey where we're at. Yeah. But it's funny. It's like you walk into a vape shop, and you know what a sommelier is? I think I'm saying it right.
Is that a Louisiana sandwich?
Exactly. Like the guy who tells you, oh, you pair this wine with fucking fish because the notes of blah blah blah.
Is that what that is? I had no fucking idea.
This wine has great legs and a tremendous ass. So you walk into a vape shop now and you're like, hey, listen, and you describe to them what you want.
So I got high anxiety. I can't eat.
And my eyes are continuously bleeding at all times.
And my dick drips. What type of weed do you have for that?
Okay, we can work with this. Yeah, you gotta walk in there and be like, well, you're looking for the head high, the body high, like the fucking mellow out, the fucking make you think. I want like a lightning bolt struck the tip of my penis. Give me that in the fucking cartridge. That's what you got to say next time you go, Arch.
I want to go in there and say I would like a strain that would make my love handle smaller. My hair would grow on my head. You would take away a 1/4 inch of the back hair. Do you have anything for that? You got to get a strain for that.
And every time I eat a slice of pizza, I get an ab.
Yeah.
I want a strain that would fucking knock a fucking buzzard off a shit wagon. What do you got for me, Pops? But dude, it's such a new thing, but yet like they fucking know.
I know.
Or they say they, or they're just making it up.
Listen, they're fucking growing that shit in the back of the dispensary. There's some type of grow house. There's farms along New Jersey now.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're making like the newer thing was to make like a hybrid of a fucking dog, like a fucking pit shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they do that with weed.
No, you know what it was? It was a golden retriever and a fucking dachshund, a wiener dog, wiener retriever, just like your sister.
How long have you been looking for opening?
Listen,
for that
a long time, and when the opportunity presents itself, you fucking pounce on it.
Jesus Christ. Man, we gave you the ball and you just took that right in there, huh? God bless you. Yeah, I think you should definitely just dabble, microdose. Yeah. Do a microdose.
Dose sounds like fucking someone fucking threw a tab in your drink. You got dosed.
You wouldn't be hiding in a closet.
Oh my God. I'd be like fucking remember in Friday when fucking Chris Tucker, when Smokey was in the chicken coop?
If you got high right now, what do you think would happen? Would you just get into your head too much and just fuck yourself? Or
pretty much.
Or would you just let it flow?
See, I'm not so much a let it flow guy.
Okay. Really?
Because I feel like when you're younger, like weed's all cool, and then all of a sudden, at some point, weed like turned against me. It was like, oh, okay, no problem. Just real quick, write down all your fears, all your worries, all your concerns. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. It's for you, it's a lifestyle. I admire that.
I think you would be different. I think it'd be a little different. I think you'd have to be comfortable. I think you would have to put on the right clothes and everything. Have your beard all trimmed up nice. And just let it go. Just let it be. Just let it flow.
Well, I mean, it's legal now, so
that's what I'm saying.
Listen, I think I want to say like dirt. Like Newark weed sprayed with Raid and fucking God knows what may have ruined it for me.
Well, Rocco, I really believe that you should experiment, you should try, you should microdose, and I think you'd feel a little bit better.
Stop saying microdose.
But until then, enjoy your weird fucking thoughts.
Yo, Arch.
Yeah.
We're going to give a special rest in peace.
Oh, no.
We didn't know this gentleman per se, but we knew of him, and we've communicated with him. I know I have through the internet, but I know you have. I think you've talked to him, but you felt like you know him because he was a huge part, like the heart and soul of the New Jersey metal scene. Lost a great gentleman, and I swear, I think you could judge someone by what their friends and what people say about them. Mr. Chris Homeny of the Old Bridge Metal Militia, who supported so many bands and was so loyal to the scene. All around great guy. I was friends with him on Facebook. I chatted with him a couple times. Never met him in person that I know of, but real sweetheart of a guy. And the outpouring of love and affection and towards his family now has been monumental.
Yeah. No, yep. Rest in peace, Chris. I had the pleasure of playing a gig in Dunellen at a place called Roxy and Dukes. He was working the door there. Very nice guy. Stayed in contact through a mutual friend, Smitty. And he was trying to book us at Starland.
Yeah.
Like with some of his bands.
Yeah.
Or something like
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
I think you called a favor into him trying to get us into like Down or somebody like that. Like
somebody. But yes.
But
big
dude,
big ups to him in the music scene, in the local New Jersey music scene.
Yeah, and I hope that like I mean his memory will live on obviously with the Old Bridge Metal Militia. You know, fantastic group, and the support that he gave, and you know, it's weird. It's weird that like when something like this hits you, and again, I didn't know the guy. I knew him from talking to him a couple times, but when you're friends with somebody on Facebook and they post a lot, and you have like some of the, you know, you're like-minded and some of the same interests and bands and what he did, and he was always active. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this like it. I feel like it kind of hit me pretty hard. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I called you as soon as I saw it on Facebook with terrible news, but and he's helped so many bands and supported the scene and done countless things, you know, for charity. You know, with the Under My Skin Foundation.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So he good dude, and it's a huge loss to the New Jersey music more specifically metal community.
Here at the podcast, we definitely send our condolences to his family and his friends, and rest in power, bro. Yo, Rock.
Yo,
I'm gonna play something for you. Let me know if you can hear this.
Shit. First off, that's not me on that tape. Okay, so.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bam.
Womp.
My friend, I am a Halsey fan. I don't know how you feel about her, but her last album.
Halsey. She's from Jersey.
Yeah, she is.
Dirty Jersey.
Last album, dope as shit. The hit after hit after hit, one of those albums. But it's dark. It was dark. It was fucking. It's not like a typical pop star. Do you know what I'm saying? Typical.
Sure.
I like her a lot. I believe Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. I think that was her last one. So that little clip I just played you is off her 2021 release. I think it's coming out because she's almost gonna pop soon. You know she's pregnant, right?
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
Really? I didn't know that.
If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. The fourth album by Halsey, produced by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Wow.
So she wanted to go dark, huh?
She wanted to go dark now,
I like
bro.
it.
Now you're talking Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross. You're talking like they scored The Social Network. Dark.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie because of how he made.
That's primarily what Trent Reznor does now. He scores movies.
The soundtrack, like the score. I'm sorry, the score of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's like definitely a big part of why I love that movie because it just makes it so dark. Anyway, so you're mixing Halsey with Trent Reznor. I'm pretty psyched about this. I love Trent. How could you not? And I am a fan of Halsey. So putting them together, I'm very, very interested to see what this album is going to sound like. What do you think this duo is going to, what do you think they're going to come up with?
I think it's like, I mean, like you said, with those guys, like definitely like a darker feel to it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people know Halsey from like obviously the like pop shit, you know, that she did.
Yeah.
And/or does. I'm bad in love. Let me for trying, man. That sound good, right?
Like
I sound fucking good.
Your voice sounds like angels fucking.
Ooh, yikes! No, she's good. I love like the little like rasp in her voice and like the fucking like breathy like sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that's what I expect from this album.
All right. Well, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. Check it out. It should be coming out this year, I believe. Trent Reznor, where could we go wrong?
Arch.
Yo, brah.
Okay, so we made our predictions. I'm gonna say you were right.
Okay.
Poirier over MvGregor.
You like that, huh?
No, but you said you said Poirier by decision.
I said Poirier by decision.
And I said MvGregor by knockout.
Yes.
I thought it was gonna happen. Turns out it didn't.
It did not happen.
Dude, so it was a 1-round fight, right? Obviously, everyone knows the conclusion. If you don't, Conor McGregor broke his tibia. A full break of the tibia.
Shite! He was pissed, bro.
Yeah. He
was angry.
So in wrestling lingo, man, he turned full heel after that fucking fight. Full heel. Like he was saying,
don't disregard the true you, Connor.
Yeah. So all right, let's rewind it for a minute. Fight starts, right? We know the first fight, Connor got hit with these fucking calf kicks. Were debilitating. He couldn't sit down on his punches. That's just what it was. Made him lose the first fight. This fight, he's like, which was expected. And I said it in my preview and analysis that he was going to throw more calf kicks. He was going to throw leg kicks.
Yeah.
He threw more leg kicks.
He did.
Here's the problem. Dustin Poirier was better at checking those kicks than Connor was in the first fight. So early on in the fight, I mean, again, early on, it was 1 round.
Early on that day.
Yeah. So Connor's throwing these kicks and Poirier knows what he's trying to do. So Poirier checks the kick, and Poirier actually pointed to Connor's leg after he checked the kick, raises the knee. And I think if you go back and watch the fight, that's where Connor's ankle broke or leg, whatever. And
did he say that, or did he deny that after the?
Well,
what was he denying in his talk?
Well, no. Now it comes out that he says that he had a pre-fight injury. UFC knows about it. Dana White knows about it. The doctors knew about it. So this is like, so you say that you're kind of not throwing one under the bus, but kind of throwing one under the bus. Like, you know, you go through, they get scrutinized. There's pre-fight medicals and evaluations and this and that. But suppose he had a stress fracture in his leg already.
Yeah.
So he kicks Poirier a couple times. Boom. Poirier fucking points to it. That's saying like, I checked that kick. I felt your bone. So this is what I think.
What do you think, Rocco? Because you've been
funny.
Wrong.
You should ask there, Jason.
You've been wrong once before.
Hey, listen, then I'll be wrong again in fucking 10 minutes. What's your point? So he checks the kick, Poirier. Connor's who, if you believe what he says, his already hurt ankle is now hurt some more. Connor, so Connor before the fight was like, "Hey, whoever goes for a takedown first is a fucking dusty bitch." I guess that's like an Irish insult. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dusty bitch.
You dusty bitch.
Connor goes for a fucking guillotine, right? Connor's going for guillotine. So to me, it tells me he knew that his ankle, his leg was fucked and it was hurt. Goes for a guillotine, squeezing. Now, a guillotine, if you don't get a guillotine, you will gas your arms out. You'll gas them out. Like you'll be tired.
Okay.
So guillotine obviously is you're from the bottom. Poirier, he had it look like he had it in deep. Poirier was able to escape it. Now Connor's on the ground. Poirier's dropping fucking ground and pound bombs, elbows, punches, and listen, Connor's got a chin, but they fucking hurt, and you can see
you got a chin.
You can see when someone's getting hit and their facial expression changes.
Yeah,
like he was he it's like he didn't want to be there, and this sucks. Like if you could encapsulate his expression, it was this sucks. Connor finally escapes, gets up. The Poirier was saying that Connor was grabbing his glove to try to give him up kicks and all this shit. Gets to his feet. However he does it, he gets to his feet. Now they're squaring up again, and you could tell something's weird. Because Connor, he wasn't limping, but like you knew that something was fucked.
Yeah.
Throws another left kick.
Yeah.
Throws a kick, half hit, half checked. He stumbles and his leg buckles a little bit after the kick. Now he wants it. The round's almost over. He wants to keep distance, so he throws what in Muay Thai a teep, which is like a jab with your foot. Just a teep. He throws a jab with his leg, extending his leg out. Foot hits you. After he hits him with the foot, when Connor's foot touches the mat, you see it buckle, and this is all obviously, maybe you don't see it real time because it happens so fast. Now Connor's going to throw a punch, throws a punch. You see his ankle fucking roll and crunch and just fucking snap.
I saw that.
Dunzo.
Oh, that makes me freak out when I see that shit.
So I'm going to, I don't know, man. Again, I'm a Connor fan, but I like Poirier. He's a good dude, right? And I got to think that maybe his leg was hurt. If not, he fucked it up early in the fight.
Yeah.
And
but did we all know about this previous injury?
No, you don't know about that.
How come? Or would he not be allowed to fight?
Well, you would think if it was bad enough and the UFC knew about it and the commission knew about it and Dana White knew about it, you probably shouldn't have fight. But I guess a stress fracture, I don't know, maybe it's not detectable, right? And so, you know, if you're a fighter, if I'm going to fight you, I'm not going to be like, hey, listen, yeah, can we just, I'm going to fuck you up on the fucking 15th. Yeah. But my leg's kind of a little hurting, so whatever you do, don't attack that.
Yeah.
You know, so he,
by the way, calf off limits, but let's go.
Whatever you do. So there was a lot of shit before the fight where Connor said that, Poirier's wife slid into his DMs.
Yeah, that's not nice. I thought there's a line on trash talking, but I guess there is not a line for trash talking. If you start fucking throwing wife bombs, then it's like, oh, all right.
Here's my thing. Like, if that was me, would I ever do that? No. Right? Now, I say that to tell you this. It's a fight. If you want to get in the other guy's head, I feel like nothing is off limits because eventually you're going to have to walk in that cage and fight somebody.
Yeah.
That you said, hey, your wife wants to fucking see my dick and balls. And so, like, you know, advance at your own risk.
That just gives your opponent a little more ammo, I would think.
Yeah, but you know what? So there's two schools of thought. I mean, and I think in their first fight, he got in Poirier's head and rattled him.
Okay.
I think now Poirier hears it and he's like, it's fucking like, dude, you're
dopey.
Yeah. Like it's stupid. It's okay. Like you're actually like, and for me, I felt like Conor was always a great trash talker. And obviously that's why he's like the biggest draw in MMA and blah, blah, blah. And obviously he backs it up. It felt like a little bit manufactured for this fight. It felt like he was trying to get himself into fucking talking shit and fucking
WWE mode.
Yeah.
It was a little WWE.
Yeah. So after the fight, Conor's leg is broken. He can't fucking get up. So he's fucking, you know, they come in the cage. Poirier's wife is giving Conor the finger. Conor's yelling bad stuff at her, bad stuff at fucking Poirier. He obviously can't get up. So Joe Rogan goes in and interviews Poirier first. Always interview the winner.
Yeah. Hey, Joe
and there was
Rogan.
debate. There was debate whether they should interview the loser or not because, you know, if somebody just gets knocked out, concussion, they may not be in the right mind. But somebody who just took a fucking gruesome injury, you may or may not want to talk to them because it may not be. But Conor wanted to talk because the second his ass was hitting the canvas, he's selling the fucking fourth fight like that. He just goes into fucking like salesman mode.
Yeah.
So they interview Poirier, and he's like, just saying, yo, this guy before the fight said, I'm going to be carried out here in a fucking stretcher. Okay. He's going to come in here. He's going to fucking kill me.
Keep those words out of your mouth.
He's like, what's that?
He said, like, yo, you should keep those words out of your mouth. Like, you shouldn't be talking shit like that.
Yeah, he's like, there's no place for that. There's no fucking. He's like, this guy wants to fucking see me dead. He said he's going to come here and kill me. And then Poirier said the most gangster fucking shit I've heard in a long time. He's like, he says he's gonna come in here. He wants to kill me. But he's like, I hope he gets home safe to his beautiful family. Like, cold right there, bro. Like, Conor, you fucking
that's right,
gangster shit right there. So Conor is sitting on the ground, and Joe Rogan goes down and sits next to him and talks to him.
Yeah,
and then Conor was just like fucking going off, like
shit.
And right there, he's selling the fourth fight, and now Conor believes in his mind that he can win this fight.
Down the street, I'm a tough looking son of a bitch, okay? I walk 3-pound people through down the street. They're looking for my husband walking behind me.
Arch, we have a very funny guest tonight. I saw this gentleman open up for Jay Mewes a couple months ago, and he fucking blew me away. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Captain Autism, AJ Wilkerson. What's up, dude?
What is up, man? I'm glad we finally could make this happen. I've been kind of traveling around so much and jumping all over the place that it's been hard to try and get somewhere where I had good internet. We still don't have that, but I couldn't keep missing you guys.
Well, we appreciate that. You're a busy guy, but that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said. I'm high as shit right now.
I said you're a busy guy, but nowadays that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I took some acid earlier, and we've just been out here working on this housework and doing ridiculous shit out here. So
where are you?
I didn't even know what day it was anymore, bro.
What state are you in right now? Besides fucked up.
I am in a state of disarray. That's where I
am. Nice. Well, I'm in
Jersey. Florida. I'm in Florida right now.
Okay.
That's where you're from originally, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Florida. Yeah.
I know. A portion of your act has to do with that. Not like when you were up in New Jersey when we saw you, killed.
Yeah, man, those were so much fun. Like, I met Jay during like COVID, like during everything. Like I bought like a piece of shit van because I was supposed to do this tour right before COVID started down here in Florida. So they had like rented us a house, like put us up, all this kind of stuff. And then COVID happened, the tour fell apart, and I was basically about to end up homeless. So I bought a van for like $1,000, converted it into a camper, and just started going around like everywhere I could to keep doing comedy. And I won a contest in Kansas City at the Comedy Club of Kansas City to open for Jay. And when I went back and opened for him, it just went so well. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm bringing you on the road with me and stuff." And since then we've been doing shows and stuff together. And New Jersey was a lot of fun because obviously that's his home state. Like we started in Florida, like my home state together, and then we went and did New Jersey right after that. So it was kind of like that back and forth. Like, oh, you saw my home, now let me show you mine. You know. And it was so much fucking fun, and we got to do. Him and Kevin Smith did meet and greets at their comic book store at the Secret Stash in Red Bank that same weekend. So my second week working with Jay, and I get to meet Kevin Smith, and and just fucking Jay and Kevin both have been so cool. Like Jay especially. Like when we went to do fucking Spokane and Tacoma together, we got like fucking drove across the state together. He's just so fucking cool and laid back, and like he's exactly who you think he is. He just doesn't do drugs anymore.
So Archie's like AJ was telling a story, I guess, when he met Jay, and he used a line, he's like, "Hey, so like, you walk to you could like fly and shit."
Yeah, because I shake, especially on stage in front of people. Like I have like real bad tremors and stuff. But yeah, he like the first time, like when I opened for him in Kansas City, like his road guy Matt was there with us, Matt Goring, and he was watching my set, and he just ran back to the green room, and he's like, "Jay, you got to come see this kid." And apparently, like I kind of pissed Jay off because he normally sleeps like before he goes on stage. He's normally back in the green room taking a nap. And he's like, "Man, what's going on out there? Like, I can't sleep because the crowd's too loud." And he's like, "Dude, you got to come see this kid." And Jay came out, like saw like the last part of my act. And then when I came off stage and went back into the green room, I'm talking to Matt, and he's like, "Yeah, Jay wants you to like come on the road with him. Like, wants to know if you're okay with traveling and stuff." And then Jay just sticks his head out of the green room. He's like, "Hey, bros, can you get on planes and shit?" Just no pretext, no nothing. That's just who he is. Like, but he doesn't mean like he's never said anything like in a hurtful way. He's just like inquisitive, like, and wants to make sure like everything's good. He was just so excited about me coming on the road with him. He just had to ask right away. He's like, "Bro, can you get on planes and shit? Because I want you to come with
me." Dude, I think that's awesome. That has to feel like a surreal moment, like, holy shit, this is happening to me right now? Like, I'm talking to Jay.
I know, dude. Like things just have moved so fast. Like 1 second, like I'm meeting Jay and talking to him in the green room, and the next second I'm sitting on a floor doing acid talking to you guys on a podcast. What?
Hey, man, it's time to go. Strap yourself up in that van, bro. Fame's about to start. Go for it.
This is fantastic.
So, what got you into comedy? Like, you started like relatively not too long ago, no?
Yeah, I've only been doing comedy for like 3 years, less than 3 years.
Wow.
I didn't start comedy until after I was diagnosed with autism. Like, because before that, like I knew something was. I just thought something was wrong with me, but no, I didn't know what it was. You know, like I'd been diagnosed before with like anxiety, major depressive disorders, things like that. But it wasn't until like somebody actually was like, oh, like, have you ever this nurse at the Fort Myers, Cape Coral VA hospital. I went in there because I was having an anxiety attack. Well, what I thought was an anxiety attack. Turns out I was having an autism meltdown. But she literally asked me while I was there for this anxiety attack. She's like, have you ever looked into like finding out if you have autism or not? And I was like, no, why? And she's like, oh, because my nephew is autistic and he has like some of the same behaviors when he's like upset. Like he has some of the, like, I just see some of the, like, I recognize some of the behaviors and things. And I was like, oh. And then she gave me the number to the University of Florida has a Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. So she gave me the number to them. I contacted them. Like they set me up and did all my like my observations, all my appointments, everything like that. Like they recommended me to a therapist for like official diagnosis. And then I started working with basically a occupational therapist. And my occupational therapist was basically, we were talking and she was like, so you have so many, like, you have such a creative mind, like your creativity is putting pressure on the other portions of your brain. So you can't ever focus on anything. And so I needed an outlet for that creativity. And so they were like, why don't you try like going to an open mic? And I went to an open mic and here the fuck we are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
So, all right. So you said 3 years ago you were diagnosed, correct?
Yeah.
So how old are you now?
I'm 33.
33.
So you went your whole life.
You fucking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you want to know what? It's for a reason, though, bro.
Yeah. So, dude, my whole life, well, I had this conversation like with my parents and stuff, because now it's like this whole thing is like, how did you guys not fucking know I was autistic?
Yeah.
But so my parents, like when I was really little, like they just thought because I was smart, so they just thought I was just weird. Like they thought it just came with the territory, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, if he's smart, that means he's going to be like a nerd. He's going to be kind of weird, you know? So they just like basically like over socialized me my entire life. Like both my parents like coached little league sports. My parents started doing foster care. So we took in other kids. So there was always, I was literally always around other kids and other people to keep me socialized. Cause my parents just thought like, you know, like he's smart, which means he's going to be like a nerdy weirdo, so we have to socialize him so he's not a complete outcast. And so like I learned how to socialize with people, and like I learned how to like talk from a young age because I inherited a set of like Hooked on Phonics tapes from my older cousin, and so I was like speaking full sentences before I could walk.
Holy shit!
You know,
wow.
Weird shit like that. You know.
Do me a favor, get that bottle over there. Get that bottle.
But yeah, I was just smart enough. I figured out like my own workarounds for fitting into society. Like, you know, I learned how to socialize. I learned how to like mask my like behaviors and things like that. So basically just through survivability.
Wow. And so when you started comedy, you're like, fuck this. I'm steering right into this. This is going to be my thing.
Well, yes, to comedy. Cause like part of, autistic people have like intense interests, you know, like for some people it's like trains or robots or penguins or, you know, whatever it is. But we have these like intense like interests. But those things change from time to time. So I'd had all sorts of other like weird hobbies I'd like thrown myself in before comedy. Like I used to do like woodworking and leatherworking and I was making, at one point I was making like those Kydex, like those hard plastic, like those holsters and stuff. Yeah. Like I was making custom holsters and stuff for people. I got into like hydrographics, like, so like dipping like Yeti cups and guns and different stuff like that, like dipping them into different patterns. Okay. You know, and like
that's
you know,
that's interesting.
That kind of shit. I'm on acid, so I don't know if any of this makes sense or not. So I'm just rambling.
No, that's fine, man.
But yeah, and I had all of these. I'd had all of these different like intense hobbies, and then comedy was like the first one where everything kind of clicked and made sense, and I was like, oh, this is the thing I was looking for.
Yeah. I could see
like,
that though.
Like I said, like comedy has been like not just like as a hobby and as like a pursuit and as a passion. Like it's also like it just helped me mentally.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I got to a point like before I got diagnosed, I'd kind of like become a hermit. You know what I mean? Like I'd stopped like interacting with people as much as possible, and I kind of just retreated into like my, you know, like my sanctum of peace or whatever. And so once I started doing comedy and like I started getting myself back out of that shell, and I started like socializing again, and like I found my tribe of people that I could talk to about anything. Because even if I run out of things to talk about, like we can still talk about comedy, you know?
Sure.
Yo, when you bought that van and you threw all your shit in there and you were on your way, what was the feeling you got? What were you scared? Were you fucking happy? Were you relieved? Like what was that initial feeling as soon as you set off in your trusty old van?
The first feeling was moisture because my van had leaks in it.
Okay.
So I almost drowned in my sleep my first night in the van.
Different moisture, Rock.
Yeah, not the good kind. No, but like being out on the road, man, like it just does something for me mentally, because like with different mental health things, like you can feel like you're bogged down sometimes. You feel like you're in a rut, or you feel like you're just not making progress. But literally living in a van every day, you can physically see the progress. Because like even if I'm not making anything happen, like I'm literally moving from one place to another. So it like mentally tricks you into feeling like you're paddling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that like knowing that no matter what happens, like no matter how, you know, how dire the situation may seem, like I'm at least moving towards something. It's just been fantastic. So it's just this intense feeling of like freedom. Like I'm finally free to do what I want to be, or do what I want to do, and be the person I want to be. Like I have permission to be myself finally.
That's fucking great. On a lighter note, I would definitely fucking like. Would you ever drive down by a river just to be like, I'm in a van down by the river? Like just once. Like I would do that if I was you.
When I first went to Kansas City to that club that all this stuff with Jay happened at, my first night there, I pulled the van around the back of the building, like because it's in a kind of like a strip or like a plaza. So I pulled around the back of the club because the club's like in the middle of the plaza around like the bigger shit. So I pulled to the back and I slept in the parking lot there. And when I woke up the next morning, I was literally right by this river that runs through Kansas City. So it's the Little Indian Creek River. I literally woke up like excited as fuck. Like it was storming outside. It was gross. It was like sleeting actually, but I threw on like a fucking windbreaker and ran outside and was like, I'm finally did it. I did it. I'm in a van down by the river.
Good. I feel better now.
Did you have like an apprehension to like, maybe you said you had anxiety, like apprehension to like get up and get in front of people?
Yeah. I mean, I still like, so when I first started like going back to like being autistic, like, so people with autism are able to like mask their condition. You know, like I can pretend to be normal for short periods of time, right? And that was basically my entire existence up until I started doing stand-up, was basically just like, how do I blend in? How do I keep people from noticing that I'm different than them, right? And so now it's like, that was the hard part when I first started comedy, was like, how do I start like peeling that back and letting people see myself? Because that's the weird thing about stand-up, is like, you can do it without without being authentic, but eventually people discover that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt like there were times when I first started where I was like, this still feels fake, right? And it's because I was still trying to like mask, like I would do everything I could to hide like my tremors or hide how nervous I was in front of people. Because being in front of people, like being the center of attention, is literally counteract like every sense of survival instinct I have. So, and I was talking with my therapist about this, and eventually my therapist was like, well, you're telling people you're autistic, but you're still afraid for them to see that you're autistic. Like, it didn't make sense. And so that's what finally got me like over that hump. And I started like not caring about whether or not I was masking my hand tremors on stage, or like whether or not, I was like, like showing like happy flaps, or like, when I get overly excited and I start getting like really giggly and weird, and like, there's no reason to hide that. Like, if people are enjoying themselves as much as I'm enjoying myself, then we're all having a great fucking time. So it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
Dude, absolutely. Listen, he saw you at Bananas. He turned me on to you. I saw a couple clips, and I fucking love when you'll crack up at yourself. It's like because you want to know why? You're having a great time. You're losing yourself within the fucking show. Like you probably got like a fucking, you got a fucking set list or the diagram of how the night's going to go. It's all planned out in your head. But like all of a sudden you dip off to another spot real quick when some lady's cackling and you're fucking, and you're just like losing your shit. And I feel like if I had the ability to do what you do, I would lose my shit too for like a second, and be like, all right. Wait, where was I? Oh yes. Okay. Here we go.
No, it's that. Like, I'm enjoying myself so much, and like, I'm a sympathetic laugher. Like, so I laugh when other people are laughing, but it's more than that. It's like, because I'm constantly like, I don't know, it's almost like I'm anticipating the laughter. So like, I start laughing thinking about when people are gonna start laughing again. Like, I can't help it.
You're your own fan.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. Like, it's not the jokes. Like, it's not the jokes. That's why, like you can tell, like when people laugh at their own jokes, and they're like they'll hit a joke and then they'll just laugh, and you know what I mean. And you can tell it's like, oh, they're pressing it like it's fake. Like, it's not. I can't do that. Like, I can't fake laugh. Like, I'm already laughing because in my head I know when you're gonna be laughing. Like, so I've already seen it. So to me, you've already laughed.
I tell you, and that's when I believe the show I saw, that's when you had the crowd, because you were having so much fun. And I told Archie, the exact quote in the line you said, like, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea, this is a fucking miracle what's going on right now. And like, you had the crowd, and you were like so enjoying it. It was like, it made it a fantastic experience.
Dude, no, that's what it is. Like, being on stage is both, at the same time, it is both the most terrifying thing I've ever done and the most like fulfilling thing I've ever done. Like, nothing gives me either one of those feelings at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like one feeling wouldn't be as enjoyable without the other feeling.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so it just constantly feels like you're tiptoeing across this very narrow line, like just balancing right between like just destruction and perfection.
Very wise. Yo, I'm so I'm glad I got high for this also, my friend. Yo,
I'm very self-conscious about being the only person tripping balls right now.
Can we please talk about Cloris Leachman for a minute?
We can always talk about Cloris Leachman. That's the love of my life.
So, not only did I see that bit today,
you said her name and I just got 3/4 of an erection. We're already most of the way there, bro.
Arch, keep going.
list your credits while I finish.
It's awesome to bring her up because that is Mrs. Garrett's predecessor, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah. That's all right now.
But listen, when you talk about like a MILF, right? It's pretty like you think about it at our age. Like
that's like a grand guilt. That's a guilt.
At 42, like if I talk, like if you talk about a MILF right now, right? I'm like, yeah, a MILF. You think about a MILF, yeah. That's like fucking 68, like 71 for me. So like like I get like a little like, no, that's not really what I want to think about anymore.
Not for me, man. If she's not old enough for a silver alert, I don't want it.
That's great. That's great.
Like women that age are like fine wines, bro. You gotta pop the cork and let it breathe a little bit.
Yes. So this bit was good. So like something like that, like just walk me through like a small little process of how you just came up with that, or it was just straight up you want to know what she's hot. I got a fucking thing for her.
I would totally fuck Cloris Leachman. She did the Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget, right? And all and John Stamos. John Stamos was the host, right? And so when Cloris Leachman, when it was her turn to come up to the podium, she comes up and she's like deadpan serious. She's like, "I'm not here to roast Bob Saget. I'm here to fuck John Stamos." And literally, as soon as she said it, in my brain, I was like, "I'd fuck the shit out of this old lady." I don't know why. It was almost like a respect thing. It was like, "Bitch, you earned it."
I know.
So let me ask you, so you see that, right? Like kind of what Archie was asking, like, what's your process? Is like, okay, I have the premise, Cloris Leachman, I'm going to go write about it, or is it just like, watch that, like, I'm going to kick this around in my head?
It's kind of both. So typically, like, when I have something, like, I'll come up with something, like, and as soon as I think it, I'm like, oh, that's fucking gold. I have to get this out of my head and somewhere where I can, like, recreate it immediately. So
does it go to your phone?
Typically I'll do like a voice memo on my phone, and I'll just go off on whatever it was that just exploded inside my head, because it's like I'm still seeing the fireworks, right? Like you look at fireworks and close your eyes and you still see like the ghost outlines or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like that. It's like, oh, I just had this thought, like let me quick like recreate it as best as I could from the outline before that image fades away. So I get as much of it as I can there, and then I just keep going back and hammering onto it. So it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, so this is obviously like I know what the firework is, but if I have to recreate the rest of that firework, like and draw a picture of fireworks, that's basically how it works.
So from the time of inception to the time of like delivering it on stage, and so I'm sure you did, you've done a bit of clubs that you would know that. When you get like a laugh, it's like, oh yeah, ha ha ha. But then there's like a little bit of an explosion when people laugh. Like they get it right away. It hits them hard, and you get a big laugh from the time of inception to a nice big laugh. How did that feel?
It depends on the joke. You know what I mean? Like so. Okay, so do you? I don't know if I don't want to give the whole bit away yet. But I have a joke about Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yes.
Okay. You're talking to two Giant fans, so.
Yeah. No, I have this joke about Jason Pierre-Paul, and the idea of the joke is I was listening to like a podcast or something, and somebody was talking about how they're like, oh, you can't make fun of handicapped people, or you can't make fun of people with disabilities. And I was like, yes, you can. In my head, I just thought out loud. I was like, yes, you can. And then I was like, oh, and then I just went on this rant in my car, like on my way to meet a friend of mine. And I just went on this rant on my my memo recorder on my phone. And I was like, okay, I was like, technically no one should ever be made fun of for having a disability, unless like if they gave themselves a disability, like, okay, right? Like, there are no protections for you anymore. You did this to yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I just went off on that. And the first thing in my head, like literally, like I was already recording when the fireworks hit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, so it was just, I just went straight to Jason Pierre-Paul as my example. Cause I'm a big football guy. I got started. I'm a big football guy because a couple of buddies of mine when we were in the Army got me to play like fantasy football with them. So like I got into football through fantasy, and now I'm fucking obsessed with it because that's my brand of autism right there.
Got it.
But so I just went straight into the Jason Pierre-Paul thing, and I just for 2 minutes just ranted about it. And I was on my way to lunch with another other comedians, and when I got to lunch, I was like, "Yo, I have to tell you this right now." And as soon as I told them like the initial version of the joke, I knew right. I was like, this is going to work. Like as soon as as I was saying it, as I was saying Jason Pierre-Paul, I was like, this is going to be fucking brilliant. This is going to work as soon as I take it on stage. And as soon as I took it on stage, it started working. But it was almost like it's almost like like carving something out of marble, right?
Okay.
Like like you hear like I don't know the artist, and I'm also again very high right now. But there's like one of those ancient artists was talking about like carving marble. He's like, I don't like carve the statues. I like see the marble and I see what's inside of it, right? And it's kind of the same thing. It's like when you first have that joke, it's like imagine like a bolt of lightning or something hitting like a block of marble and just have it falling away to reveal like a statue underneath. And so the rest of it is just like chiseling out and shaping the rest of the statue. Right. And so, but like you see that marble, like as soon as lightning hits it and you're like, I could display this right now. I could set this out and people would come and look at it and they would be like, yeah, this is art. But you also know you're like, okay, but I'm going to keep doing more to it. And people are going to continue to come and watch me build on this thing until it's finished.
That's a pretty dope process right there, bro.
That's kind of what it feels like. It kind of every time like you start a joke and you get it to a certain point and you're like, okay, from this point, it will work on stage and it will just get better from here.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have, and we know a lot of comedians, and you see some that are like, okay, this is my act. I stick to my act. I'm going to go A, B, C, and that's it. I feel like you have that like God-given ability to just connect with the crowd. A lot of your shit, like I wouldn't describe it like as you're doing crowd work, but you're connecting with the crowd. You're actually like, someone will say something and you're like feeding off of it. And I feel like that's like, either you have that or you don't.
That's actually something I think just being in the moment. And that's kind of what like the best way I can explain like stimming on stage, like my hand trembling or like whenever I'm like, I get like flappy and excited, like if I were to waste my mental capacity trying to contain that or keep it under wraps, it would be that much mental capacity I'm taking out of just being in the moment with everybody. And I'd rather just be in the moment, It's the most amazing feeling.
From the bits that I saw, man, I think, as a comic coming into your own, I think you're onto something, kid. Don't stop.
I appreciate it, man. Dude, every day I wake up and it's just amazing that this is my life now.
Yeah, like you're hitting up club to club.
Like I'm still technically a homeless person, but I'm a homeless person people have heard about, and that's a good thing.
One step closer.
Now, exactly.
Now, do you know, like where you're going, and it's just you and your van, and you're just going from fucking Mewes show to, or you're still on tour with Jay Mewes, right?
Kind of. So Jay isn't like full-time touring as a comic.
Okay.
So like right now, the next couple of months, we don't have a whole lot of stuff going on together because he's making movies. Like he's a movie star.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I've been like doing my own thing, just traveling around in the van, like put together a little run of shows and stuff. And, I'm at the level where I'm still doing a lot of like barroom shows, and, I'll get paid $200 to show up at a barbecue joint. And they're like, hey, do you guys know there was even a show tonight? Like much less who I am.
Yeah. That's not bad,
so
man.
That kind of thing.
I tell you what, showing up to do your craft, to have fun, and to fucking laugh, $200 nowadays starting out. That's not
bad. That's how you build a fan base, though, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's basically what it is. I just keep popping up in random places like a weird Johnny Appleseed of comedy, and just sowing my oats, and then getting the fuck out of there.
What's your leave behind? Meaning, like, do you leave cards? Do you leave anything, to track your audience, to send it? I don't know if you do like a email blast to your audience.
No, I blast out. I tell people to follow my Instagram and my TikTok, and then I do I have shirts and stuff in my merch store. And so typically I'll set up like a little merch table, and I do I have these Captain Autism posters, like these little 8.5 by 11 comic book posters.
Yeah.
I do those for whatever anybody wants to donate for one, because I'm just happy that people are coming up to talk to me and be like, oh, we had fun at your show. So for me to then set a price, be like, well, how much did you enjoy me? It's weird. So I just do it for donations, whatever anybody wants to donate for one,
That's pretty cool.
And then I have shirts and stuff in my merch store, and I have that normally set up on the table. But yeah, man, I'm just doing this as grassroots as you possibly could.
You know what? You look fucking happy. That's the good. Well, minus the acid.
I'm very happy, and this may be the acid talking, but this is the most fun I've ever had doing a podcast.
He's the next day, somebody's gonna, what'd you do last night? He's gonna be like, I talked to fucking two guys with yellow. I just remember yellow. Jersey.
Not
I think they were
two fucking guys.
I really hope the best for you, man. We both do. You're doing something really fucking cool. You're having a really good time. I'm sorry I missed you that night. Rocco told me about you, but I'm catching you online with your clips on Twitter and shit. And
hell yeah.
I enjoy. And I had my wife was next to me not too long ago. She was cracking up at your shit too.
So next time you're anywhere near Jersey, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, definitely,
dude,
bro.
Absolutely. I might be popping up. I might just be popping in sometime, because there's stuff I'm not in the know about, but some people I work with happen to be in the area,
Nice.
Yeah, so I might be popping in the next couple of months, so I'm excited to see you.
Awesome. We're gonna be following you, and we can't wait.
Well, I'll follow on your social media. Give them out to everybody. Where can they find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's AJ Wilkerson Comedy. On TikTok, it's Captain Autism Comedy. Yeah, that's it, man. Those are the ones.
Well, listen, we appreciate you saving that one tab for us, pal. And no, we wish you the best, dude.
Here. So this is how I survive on the road sometimes, right? I put together all the my little string of shows to make sure I could get gas money and stuff, get out, make it back, do a little loop, come back to Florida. And then while I'm here in Florida, my buddy Cam is a comic who moved out to Denver. But he still has his house here in Florida. They're just getting it fixed up and getting it ready to rent and shit. So I was like, yeah, I'll live in your house for a week and provide free labor in exchange for a place to stay.
Why not? Why the fuck not? Yeah, man.
Dude, little odds if I literally little odds and ends shit just to keep the train rolling, man. And I think that's what, going back to that thing about that's what it is about living in the van, man. It's once I realized comedy was something I was willing to be homeless for, nothing could stop me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, if you love anything enough to risk your survival for it, it's yours. You know what I mean? You can take it as far as you want to take it.
Well, listen, you have a gift for it. You're fully an inspiration. And dude, we really just can't wait to see you fucking live again.
I fucking can't wait, man.
We will hit you up before that.
Yeah, great to have you on, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me again. I'm very sorry I'm so blasted right now, but this was a lot of fucking fun.
You're more popular than Archie ever is, so don't you worry about that.
Who are you, man?
The great AJ Wilkerson. Dude, thank you so much. We had so much fun.
Thank you, guys.
Stay well. Thank you.
Be good. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the great A.J. Wilkerson. Me and my Captain Autism. Captain Autism. I apologize. Captain Autism. A.J. Wilkerson. Me and my fine feather echoey friend over here. It was a good time. That was a good time.
Dude, let me tell you, dude, he's fucking. You got to see him live. He's hilarious.
I know.
Like from the moment he got on to the moment he left, the crowd was fully engaged. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I see some of his clips on Twitter, and I can see there's a thing. You know when a batter hits a ball when he got all of it.
Yeah.
You know that fucking connection. That's the connection you feel at a comedy club when a joke hits. You know it hits.
100%. And it's like we always compare to the music, like where you go see like an awesome fucking band and fucking great, but they're not quite connecting with the crowd. Like this guy was the whole time connecting with the crowd.
Awesome. Well, Recco, with that being said, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talking to Captain Autism and you're rolling down the street in your Chevy Prism, but you can't see shit because you have astigmatism, and all you want to hear is that Tool song Schism, then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yeah. Your balls are on the line.